The first post of Donald Trump to Truth Social after his totally horrifying speech to the United Nations, at which he was literally laughed at by world leaders, was such a bonkers word salad about foreign policy that it should terrify anyone who believes that we are slowly advancing as a species and as a society. It really makes me question the evolution of Homo sapiens. Trump posting to Truth Social, quote, "After getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine-Russia military and economic situation, and after seeing the economic trouble it is causing Russia, I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, the original borders from where this war started is very much an option. Why not? Russia has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, a war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. This is not distinguishing Russia. In fact, it is very much making them look like a paper tiger. When the people living in Moscow and all of the great cities, towns, and districts all throughout Russia find out what is really going on with this war, the fact that it's almost impossible for them to get gasoline through the long lines that are being formed and all of the other things that are taking place in their war economy, where most of their money is being spent on fighting Ukraine, which has great spirit and only getting better. Ukraine would be able to take back their country in its original form, and who knows, maybe even go further than that. Putin and Russia are in big economic trouble, and this is the time for Ukraine to act. In any event, I wish both countries well. We will continue to supply weapons to NATO for NATO to do what they want with them. Good luck to all." This is absolutely nuts. Now, top level, you're not wrong if you interpret this and say, wow, this all of a sudden, wow, this sounds much less pro-Russia and all of a sudden much more pro-Ukraine. Ukraine's got to take back all the land Russia took and maybe even more. Trump suggesting a war of aggression for Ukraine. And that's fine. I mean, I'm glad to see that, to the extent that it is Ukraine that's fighting this war defensively. But it's a completely incoherent post. I mean, first of all, the syntax is all over the place, contradicting thoughts, no real clear point. Sounds like a parody of Trump trying to sound like a foreign policy expert, and instead it's rambling filler and randomly capitalized words. But then after all of it, this sort of signals a reversal. Trump, who has been so pro-Russia on this issue, all of a sudden he's like, no, Putin's screwing up. Ukraine can get all of its territory back. Maybe they can even get more back. That sounds like a 180. Then he goes, oh, I wish both countries well. Like, it's the Chiefs versus the Patriots. I wish both teams really well. This is a brutal war, not a sporting event. And the swings are kind of manic. Ukraine's winning. Russia's collapsing. Good luck to all. It's unmoored to any reality. And if you bring this statement to allies and say, what is Trump's position right now? I don't think they can decipher it from this. One moment he's praising Putin. Next, he's saying Ukraine should take everything back and maybe even more. And so this is an example of that instability I've been talking to you about. This is what makes Trump dangerous in office. Foreign policy is dictated by mood swings. Incoherent rants lead us to start wondering, what exactly is it that's going on? What is the position? And then I think also it's interesting to mention, he keeps talking about NATO should do this, that, and the other thing. Ukraine really is fighting this war. Why is it now up to NATO? It's just sort of weird. Does Trump even really understand what's going on there? Now, to his credit, this is wacky enough and worded in such a way as potentially adversarial to Russia enough that Putin may see this and go, oh, damn, I may be losing control of my my pet project over there in the United States. Completely whacked and incoherent, but maybe it'll get Putin to reconsider some of his belligerence. And by the way, we were told that the Putin summit with Trump in Alaska was really going to put Putin on the straight and narrow. We weren't going to see any outbursts from him since that. And of course, the attacks, the drones, and the missile strikes have only escalated since then. So at least up until yesterday's incoherent rant, Donald Trump not exactly striking fear into the heart of Vladimir Putin. Maybe the belligerence of this rant will actually make Putin scared. I don't know. Let's be honest. When it is hot outside the way it's been, bad underwear makes it really much worse. Our sponsor, Sheath Underwear, has completely rethought how men's underwear should function in the heat. Sheath's boxer briefs are designed with a dual pouch system, keeping everything in place, separate, ventilated. This means less sweat, less sticking, less of that awkward adjusting. And if you're not using the pouches, the fabric alone is a game changer. Soft, stretchy, moisture wicking, now available in cooling materials like bamboo and mesh. I wear these at the gym during long work days, especially when I know it's going to be hot outside. It just keeps you dry and comfortable. And they've really raised my expectations about how good underwear can be. Wearing Sheath is like having built-in climate control for the lower half of your body. Everything stays cool, dry, and where it should be. If you've never thought much about your underwear, this is the one brand that might make you start. Go to sheathunderwear.com/Pakman. Use the code Pakman for 20% off. The link is in the description.